A Fox News alert overnight. Texas's closely watched voting bill blocked after state Democrats stage a walkout.
Yeah, but Governor Greg Abbott insists it's not dead. It's not dead yet. He's calling for a special summer session to get the bill passed.
Texas GOP congressional candidate and Army veteran Wesley Hunt is here to react. Wesley, thank you so much for being on the program today and your service. I want to get your quick reaction to what's happening in our state of Texas. The Democrats decided to take their candy and leave instead of actually voting on the bill.
Yeah, that's pretty absurd. And the whole objective of these laws is to ensure that we make it easier for us to vote but difficult for us to cheat. By simply requiring an ID, restricting this mass mail-in ballots and restricting ballot harvesting is actually a pretty low bar for us to achieve a free and fair election. And as a black person, the insinuation that we can't get ID to vote is actually ridiculous. We have to have an ID to do anything basic in this country, and the sanctity of our ballot box should be paramount on our objective to make sure that we have a free and fair election. But let me give you a little example about what inconvenience means to me. Inconvenience, particularly on a day like Memorial Day, are brave men that were wading in waist-high deep water on the beaches of Normandy into a barrage of machine gun fire. And these brave men and women have done this for generations to ensure that we can have a free and fair election. And anybody that does not want to see that, I believe, does not believe in our Constitution.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you, Wesley, and especially when you talk about the voter ID and the fact that they say that that race is part of the reason why we should, not have a voter ID. Somehow, black and brown people can't, get an ID card. It's completely ludicrous. Here's what Joe Biden had to say about Senate Bill 7 on Saturday. Texas legislators put forth a bill that joins Georgia and Florida in advancing a state law that attacks the sacred right to vote. It's part of an assault on democracy that we've seen far too often this year, and often disproportionately targeting black and brown Americans. It's wrong and un-American. What would you say to Joe Biden following those comments?
Yeah, that could not be further from the truth. I think every red-blooded American should want to see a free and fair election. And what the Democrats are proposing right now is actually H.R. 1 that federalizes our election process, taking away this process from our states. It actually bans voter ID, and it gives tax-paying dollars to Democrat candidates against your will. Now that's what I would propose to President Biden. And I would say, now, is that constitutional or not? And I would obviously say that is obviously not. But we should want to see these improvements made in our process to know that when we walk into that ballot to vote for our future leadership, it's going to count, it's going to be legit, it's going to be fair, and we can walk away knowing that whoever gets elected was elected the right way.
Well, Wesley, I'd love to say you're about to announce something live here on Fox and Friends, but I believe you made this announcement in a tape special with our friend Pete Hegseth last night. And if anyone's paying close attention to your lower third attribution here on the program this morning, it does say congressional candidate. So why don't you, if this is your chance to say it live on television, Wesley, what are you about to do?
Yes, I will be running for United States Congress here in 2022 in the greater Houston area. And I always talk about this as just an extension of service. And on days like this, I'm always motivated by people like my fallen classmate, David Frazier. He was a dear friend of mine. He was killed in Iraq on November 26, 2006, and he is no longer here to serve for himself. So my candidacy is in remembrance of him and my 14 other classmates that are no longer with us, and all the men and women that have sacrificed and paid the ultimate sacrifice for us to wake up in the morning and breathe free, sovereign American air and put our feet on free, sovereign American soil. I am proud to continue to serve this country, and I look forward to running again for United States Congress here in 2022.
Well, that is a reason to serve.
Definitely.
We'll be following it.
Thank you.